As it turns out, the most brutal and difficult stretch of the Miami Heat's schedule this regular season didn't turn out to be so tough after all. The Heat have made historically easy work of their 3 games and 3-night stretch, which culminated with another rout against the Indiana Pacers Tuesday night. Miami looks to wrap up this trip with a win Friday in Cleveland that will give them a 5-1 record on their longest trip of the season. This trip started with a setback which seemed like ages ago against the Orlando Magic. Remember that? Since then, the Miami Heat is playing some of the best basketball that I've seen them play this season. 5 things have stood out about the Heat's play during their winning streak, and I'll start with the bench, which is averaging 35 points a game over the 4 victories. That's up from 20 points a game that they've been getting from the reserves over the course of the season. You might dismiss that as a byproduct of them building early leads from the starters and sustaining cushions throughout the course of a game. But look a little bit deeper, and what I see is how Eric Spoelstra has found a way to make Shane Battier and Mike Miller coexist. He's allowed both of those guys to get an opportunity to emerge from shooting slumps that have bothered them since the start of the season. Miller and Battier have combined to shoot 22 of 39 from the field over these 4 games. That's a whopping 56.4%, with much of that damage coming from 3-point range. Beyond them, Udonis Haslem and Norris Cole are starting to come back and find their rhythm offensively as well. From there, you got to look at the conditioning level. This was a demanding stretch for the Heat, but they've emerged from it so far with only 2 nagging injuries. Dexter Pittman is still being slowed by a bruised left shoulder he sustained in Sunday's win at Atlanta, and Mario Chalmers aggravated a hand injury against the Indiana Pacers. Other than that, the Heat are relatively healthy at a key stretch of this season. From there, look at Chris Bosh's board work. Bosh said at the beginning of the season that he was committed to being a double-figure rebounder this season. He wanted to get his averages there back to the levels they were when he played with the Toronto Raptors those last 2 highly productive seasons. Well, over the last 4 games, Bosh is averaging 10.2 boards a game. He's still searching for rhythm on offense. His shot is evading him at some points, but he's been able to commit to doing the board work that this team needs from a power forward with not a whole lot of depth at the center position. From there, look at Dwyane Wade. Since he's come back from that foot injury that cost him 6 games, Wade's numbers have gone through the roof. He had a stretch of 9 straight 20-point games that ended against the Pacers, but he's averaging 24.2 points a game in the month of February. Over the last 4 games, Wade's mid-range game has returned to him as well as his free throw shooting, and he's shooting 55% from the field during that stretch. His career numbers are 48% from the field, and he shot 48% over the course of this season. So that spike up to 55% shows you that he's finding a rhythm and a comfort zone with his shot. And last but not least, the way the Miami Heat has been playing lately is largely due to the impact that LeBron James has had on the game. What we're seeing now is the attacking, the punishing LeBron James. We saw the passive LeBron a few games ago, where he struggled with his shot and really didn't get a lot going offensively and sort of coasted through a couple of games. But since then, he's gone from passive LeBron to punishing LeBron. He went from reluctant to LeBron to relentless LeBron. And his plus minus just over the past 4 games has been plus 14, plus 26, plus 14, and plus 27 when he's on the court. That means the Heat have outscored their opponents over the last 4 games by a whopping 81 points when LeBron has been in the game. What that tells you is that this guy is playing at an MVP level. We know he's having one of the most efficient seasons that we've ever seen, but it's also showing on the court with his teammates and with the overall play of this team. And that's why some say the Miami Heat are playing their best basketball since LeBron, Dwyane, and Chris Bosh came together in that summer of 2010.